Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Can you all hear me? I think all good. Right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar titled From Lumion to D5 Render, a success story of switching to D5 Render. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tara from D5 Render marketing team. Today, we will explore the best practices for transitioning from Lumion to D5 Render, compare the key features, showcase how D5 integrates seamlessly with different platforms, and then share insights from the expert to help you get the most out of your rendering experience. Yeah. Here's the agenda for today. We will have the welcome and intro, the short intro, and then we'll go to the webinar itself with Bilal, and then we'll have the Q&A, and then feedback and prize. Yeah, on the Q&A session, you can ask any questions you may have, and to make things even more exciting, we'll also be conducting a lucky draw where you can upload your renders using D5 on social media, and then tag us, and then we will select one winner to receive the 3 months of D5 Pro. All right, so here's our speaker, Bilal Mekia, an architect and Arch-Viz specialist with over 8 years of experience. Bilal has worked on a wide range of projects, crafting high-quality 3D renders, animations using tools like Blender, Lumion, and D5 Render. And then known for his technical expertise and creative vision, he has built a strong reputation for delivering visually compelling solutions that captivate audiences and meet clients' needs. Okay, let me invite Bill to the stage. Hello.
Hi, Tara.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Hi, everyone. Thank you to the D5 team for organizing this webinar and for creating such an innovative platform like the D5 Render. Thank you all for attending. My name is, as Tara said, Bilal. I'm an architect and the founder of Mekan.design. Over the past 8 years, I've had the privilege of working on lots of projects from large scale and to commercial residential projects. I've used a lot of programs like Lumion, D5, Inkscape, and for 3D modeling, I've used SketchUp, 3ds Max, and Blender. So let's start with the presentation. So after using Lumion for over 6 years, maybe, I reached a point where I felt like constrained by its limitations, especially as my projects became more complex. So I got a look at D5 Render, and I realized it addressed many of my concerns and challenges that I faced while using Lumion. And I decided to switch fully to D5 about 2 years ago. For those of you who don't know D5 or haven't used it, it's a cutting-edge ray tracing, real-time rendering platform designed especially for architects. It will elevate your designs and your projects. Today, I will share with you my journey and insights into how I transformed my work from Lumion to D5. First of all, I'll walk you through the features that I needed to see in D5 before I could fully transition. I found nearly all of them, and some even worked even better than I was used to in Lumion. I even discovered new tools and capabilities that I didn't actually expect to be in such a platform. So these features made the transition even more rewarding. And by the end of this session, I hope you'll see how D5 Render is a game-changing for architectural visualization. We'll start with the UI and the viewport. So Lumion's UI always felt cluttered and segmented for me. You needed separate workspaces to work on the effects, to work on the pictures and animations, and that made the viewport small. And even if you wanted to work in the viewport with the effects on, you had to go into a separate panel, and it made it a bit laggy for me. So in D5, D5 integrates everything into one workspace, which allows real-time ray tracing results to be seen as you work. Switching workspaces in D5 is only required at the final stage, and even then the workspace doesn't change that much. It only adds some a small panel at the bottom. This unified approach in D5 creates more efficient and seamless experience. Let's go to the D5. So this is the D5 project that we're gonna use today as a demo file. As you can see on the left panel, we have the scene list, the layer list, and the objects and imported objects in the file. At the top, we have the add section. You can add everything you can think of using these buttons. They also have some shortcuts. At the right section, you have the environment and the effects. Here you can add everything that has to do with the look of the render, the atmosphere. And as you can see, the viewport is so big that you can see every detail. You can also like press F9 to go to the bigger one. You can press F10 or F11. You have full control of everything in the viewport. And the only area that you will be switching to another workspace is when you're rendering images or animations. As you can see, it doesn't change that much. The second point is the live syncing. So live syncing in Lumion is with SketchUp is available, but it's basic. It lacks advanced features that I needed, like the scene export, the light linking, and it doesn't support, as much as I know, it doesn't support linking with programs like 3ds Max and Blender, which are like programs that we use in the Arch-Viz industry. So these limitations disrupted the workflow and introduced additional steps. You had to export FPXs and wait for the export and import for 3ds Max and Blender. And for SketchUp, you had to make all the lights in D5. You couldn't export scenes. But D5 provides like seamless live syncing with SketchUp. It has compatibility with Blender and 3ds Max, and I've used them all. Those features really save time and reduce errors and streamline the process. So this file is, let me go out of the photo mode. This file is live synced to the SketchUp file. As you can see, it's a bit cluttered. Sorry about that. So yeah, you only have to download the live sync add-on from D5 website, which is always updated. You press on the connect to D5 render, and it's automatically connected. What I'm going to show you is if I have a scene that the client likes or approves in SketchUp in the early stages of design, all you have to do is send scenes, and automatically all the scenes that you have in SketchUp reflect in the D5 scene. Another thing is syncing lights, which I'm going to show you maybe right here. Let's see. So if I'm going to add some lights, I have a panel for adding lights, which is the same as the lights in D5 render. We have the point light, we have the spot, the strip, etc. So I'm going to add some lights here. I'm going to add one and then copy maybe 5 lights that I need here. And it automatically, I'm just going to check some settings. It automatically brings them over to the D5 scene. I've done this for these lights, which, as you can see, might take time to place inside D5 one by one, but using SketchUp, it's so much easier. You place them in SketchUp and just sync them to the D5 scene, and it automatically adds a folder with all the lights. I've already have the lights in the scene, and this is the atmosphere that I'm going to start with. I've added an HDRI. I tweaked some settings. I'm not going to go into the details of that. It's not a tutorial. I'm just going to show you things that I liked in D5 that made me switch to it. Thirdly, we have the view and navigation. So Lumion's navigation is limited to only one single mode, and it doesn't have like top view or wireframe. D5 has that, and D5 has 2 more navigation systems. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the first navigation system. I'm moving with my mouse. I'm moving with the WASD, going up with Q, down with E, and even the same controls for speed, shift for speeding up, and space for speeding down. It also has something that can control the speed that you want to go in. Goes from 100 to 200 and maybe more. And it has the speed of the mouse moving itself. And it has an orbit mode, which orbits around the center of the screen. And it has also my favorite, the walk mode. The walk mode allows you to just walk around the project, especially in interior files. It allows you to see the project as if you're standing there. Yeah, so Lumion doesn't have that, and I needed that so many times in smaller projects. The fourth one is the library and the materials. So Lumion's library is not small, but it kind of lacks some flexibilities with customizing materials. Overall, the D5 library, since I saw it the first time, it felt more realistic to me. This is up to you to decide. The D5 renders even more features like the AI-driven material editor, which I didn't know I needed until I saw it. Advanced features like UV mapping and triplanar scaling for precise adjustments. Initially, D5's material system felt a bit overwhelming, but I found a scene called the D5 Material Museum scene, which you can download for free. You can walk around the scene and explore every intricate detail about every material that D5 offers. And it takes off the pressure of all the different types of materials that D5 offers. So to highlight what I'm talking about, let's say we added some materials from the library. So the library is located right here. In assets, we have the models, we have materials, particles with everything from holograms to clouds, fires, and even balloons flying away. We have the scatter library. We're going to talk about that later. The HDRI. You can even add some HERIs that you have externally, and the terrain library that was added in the last update of D5. So let's go to the scene. Let's say that we have this material that I have in SketchUp, which I like. It's a high quality material, but I don't have the maps for it. Let's first address this shading problem inside the steps. All you have to do is select the material, press an I and selecting it, and go to the triplanar option. And as you can see, it automatically assigns a UV map for the object. But as you can see, we don't have roughness, we don't have normal, we don't have ambient occlusion. And D5 has this AI-generated texture maps. All you have to do is, as you can see, we have the color map only. You just press on it, and D5 automatically creates the maps that you need inside D5. I know you can create them using external programs, but it just is so much easier. As you can see, we have the roughness, we have the normal map, and the ambient occlusion. Another thing that I want to show you, which is something that I wanted to be able to do in Lumion but couldn't. Let's say we have this this deck. I want the outside edges of the deck to be oriented like this. So I made the UV to be perpendicular to itself, as you can see. So let's go to the assets. Let's go to the material. Let's go to the favorites and type wood. This is the material that I want to apply to this deck. I'm going to choose it, wait a bit for the picture to appear, and then press on the material. As you can see, it detects the UV map that was imported from SketchUp. But in Lumion, if you scale this, as soon as you start to scale this, it automatically goes into the triplanar mode, which is something that I don't want. I don't want to lose the UV maps that I worked on in SketchUp. But in D5, you can easily scale this and you're not going to lose the UV maps, which is amazing. I couldn't do that in Lumion. You had to go to SketchUp and rescale the UV maps. Let me just, for the sake of the presentation, I'm going to add another material here. Maybe darken this a bit using the base color. Yeah, much better. Okay. So the fifth point is the mass placement and grass. In Lumion, the grass presets and the grass itself were strong features that I heavily relied upon, and everyone does, I think. But D5 renders scatter, the brush tool and the scatter tool, enhanced scatter system, like it offers so much greater flexibility for creating natural and dynamic grass layouts. And it allows a more effective distribution of objects like trees in a forest or rocks in a lake. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's say I want to add grass to this patch of grass here. We have three options. I can choose the material itself and go to the material template and choose grass. This is similar to the grass setups that Lumion has. I can choose any of the presets that D5 has. I have some controls over here, control of color, height, density, and maybe trimming. But I don't prefer this method for close-up shots. The second one is I'm going to Control Z, which is something that is available in D5. So this is the material that I chose for this part of the grass. I'm going to put on it some grass. So I'm going to go to the library, go to the model tab, and type grass. So I have a bunch of grass models that can be scattered. I can use the brush tool. The brush tool is, I think, the same as Inkscape. You control the radius, and everywhere you press it distributes some grass that you chose. I didn't choose anything, that's why it didn't distribute any. So I'm going to choose maybe this, this, and this. Okay. As you can see, and you have the erase option. So when you press on erase, it has the same settings that you have. You can erase everything. But the neat thing about this is if you take the radius all the way to the full amount, it becomes a material effector. So it affects all the areas that has the same material. I'm going to do the same with the erase option. So I'm going to choose these two models. The density may be something like this, a big size, a bit of rotation, and I'm going to press on this. As you can see, the models are so small and so scattered that I don't like them. All you have to do is press Alt and press again, and that will delete the scatter that you did. Because the radius of the erase option is also full. I'm going to up the density and up the size a bit, maybe not so randomness. Press again. This is much better. Maybe a bit more smaller. Okay, that's it. The third option, and the best option, I think, using the scatter system, which is something that D5 introduced in the last or the second to last upgrade they did. You can choose scatter system that you like. I'm not going to go into details. D5 has an amazing tutorial on how to use the scatter system. It's so complex, but it is so intuitive and easy to use. I'm going to use a ready-to-use system. All you have is to click on it, click on the other material that I prepared, and press create. And what it does is it compiles a bunch of grass and bushes, and it creates a system so harmonic that it feels real. And as you can see, this is amazing. And you can use these ready-to-use systems to, as you can see, forests. You can use them to, to do everything. And you can start your own scatter system from scratch. So the sixth point is the object replace. I've used this in Lumion heavily. It's called, I think, place on nodes, but D5 enhances this process. I only wanted the same process to be available in D5, but what I found in D5, it has a layer system that made everything so much easier. So I'm going to show you with an example in the same demo file. This file came with the AutoCAD drawings of small trees, shrubs, and bushes. The client wanted the same landscape elements. So all I did here is draw some random objects instead of the trees, and I have now 5 separate objects. Every one contains all the instances. Now in Lumion, you have to save every one of them as an exploded object, as an exploded group, to a separate file and import it separately. D5, you can select everything, and all you have to do is go to the export menu and select it only and use this 2 layers export. When you export that, I'm going to go close this vegetation, open the model, sync into the D5. Wait a second, and yeah. So when you've done that, all you have to do is import the model and then place it into the D5 scene. After placing it, you have to sync it to the scene, which is right here, sync coordinates. And after you do that, as you can see, it's in its place. And when you go to the object menu, we have the vegetation group. It has all the 5 groups separately, and every group has all the trees that you have in the SketchUp file. Now, all you have to do is select the trees, not the group, the trees inside the group, and then replace from assets, confirm, and go to the model that you want to replace those objects with. This was a palm tree, small palm tree. This is it. Press on it, wait a few seconds, and voila. The only thing left is to press random rotation, a bit of random size, and you're done. I've already done this. This is the vegetation. This is what you can do in the same system with a bit of vines and some shrubs here and there. So the 7th point that I wanted to be available in D5 is the animation support. And this is a big thing for me because Lumion's animation support was limited to basic functions like scale, rotation, and move. Everything that has any animation data apart from these 3 options wasn't possible to be imported to Lumion. Some people tried and they found some workarounds with so much effort and long tutorials. It wasn't really worth risk. But D5 supports advanced animations like the curve animations, some simulation animations, and organic shape key in Blender simulation animations, and importing a human model with motion in D5 was so straightforward that it made me do the jump from Lumion to D5 instantly. I'm going to show you an example of maybe not this project, but let's say you've added some people. I've added static people in this scene because I didn't need animations at the time. But let's say you want to add moving people. We have a library of animated people. I think they are in the character. So a lot of people, you have the 2D people that I used here, but you have moving people animated. But let's say that you want some specific motion, which I did in one project. I wanted a kid digging in the ground and planting some trees. For this example, let's say that we wanted someone to do some sit-ups. Sorry. I used a site called Mixamo. It allows you to download characters with so much motions. You can choose the motion. You can upload your own characters. There are a lot of YouTube tutorials on how to do that. This is the character that I downloaded. As you can see, it already has all the keyframes assigned to it. Now, all you have to do is import this character. Let's say I'm going to import it to this stick here. You go to the import You import the characters. I've already imported it into the scene, but you have to export the character into two extensions, the FBX and the ABC, and I'm going to show you why. First of all, we're going to place the FBX model. It comes in the T pose with all the materials assigned to it. And then the ABC. The ABC model, for some reason, comes so small. All you have to do is, without clicking anywhere, you just have to click on the C and move the mouse to the right. You can scale it up and down this way. I'm going to use the feet of the model to determine how big it should be. I think that's enough. Then we're going to go to the display panel, and I'm going to stop the motion using this button, dynamic and static. Now all we have to do is just copy and paste the materials from the model. We have the hair. I'm pressing I to select the material, and then O to make it copyable. I think the eyelashes are the same. Yeah, okay. And this way we can import characters that have some specific motions. Maybe I want the character to be doing some sit-ups in this gym. This, yes. I'm just having fun. Okay. So let's go to the 8th point. Lumion's camera controls were basic, making complex animations difficult and sometimes even impossible. I think with later updates, they improved some features, but it arrived too late for me anyway. But D5 offers advanced camera tools. It offers some presets, and as we talked about, the scene imports. And it has something called the automatic timing tool, I think. Let me show you in D5 what I'm talking about. So let's say we've set up everything that we need in the scene. We go to the video tab. I'm going to add a clip. Use the current view, maybe not the current view, use this view as the starting point. And then go a bit further and add another one. You can control the timing from here. So this is the same as Lumion works. You start with one shot, you decide on the second shot, and it creates the animation for you. D5 also has presets, templates. So I'm going to do the same motion with a template. Just press on it, and it decides on the second shot using this distance. So the longer the distance, the longer the space that the camera is going to move in. But the amazing thing about this is, I'm going to do another clip. Let's say that we have a camera here. Okay. I'm going to start with adding the current view. I'm going to add one right here and one right at the end. Okay. So first of all, we have the option to use auto smooth for the movement and the rotation. I'm going to do linear, so it doesn't start smoothly and go into speed. The rotation is going to stay with auto smooth. As you can see, it starts so slow and it suddenly speeds up, and that's because we can edit the path to see what's going on. So as you can see, the length between the first camera position and the second is this. This is the second camera position, and this is the third. So this is so much longer than this, which makes it slower here and faster here. This is a problem that, as much as I know, it doesn't have a solution in Lumion, but I'm going to press on done and focus on this 3 seconds and 3 seconds, which is the amount of time assigned to every movement. I'm going to select the clip and go over here. It's called Auto View Interval. When I press on it, it assigns automatic timing, which makes it the same speed, which is amazing, I think. So the 9th point is AI post-processing. So Lumion requires exporting renders to external AI softwares for enhancement to add realism. D5 has that integrated into D5, which streamlines the process amazingly. And the built-in AI intelligently uses some scene data from inside the scene to enhance the sharpness and the realism of the scene. Let me show you the AI enhancer. Let's say this is the render that I'm gonna put out, and this is the image tab. You can choose all the settings from here. You have to add this channel to be able to use AI on it in D5, which is the AI post channel, and then add it to the queue. Maybe render it just right away. This is the render queue. You can choose it and render. I've already did that. This is the history. So you can access it from this button here, or you can go to the AI post-processing, press on it. These are the last 3 pictures that I did. Press on it twice. And as you can see, you have the AI enhancer. You have some adjustments, effects, and some AI style transfers. I've already done those. I'm going to show you the results. So this is without any AI. This is, I think, with 70% enhancement to add realism to the scene. No, this is the 70%. Just some time to, yeah, okay. So as you can see, this is the before and this is the after. It adds a bit of realism to the scene. If you up it to the full, it might make it look a bit, fake. As you can see here, it still looks good. And it has some effects here to add some sharpness. Yeah, so this is adding sharpness, denoising, and this AI style transfer, I haven't used much outside of the concept phase of the project, but this is what a night scene could look like. And being able to do all of that inside D5 is just mind-blowing. Yeah. Last but not least, the support and the updates. Lumion's update cycle is slow. It often ignored user feedback. D5 actively listens to its community. It delivers meaningful, polished updates quickly, and it delivers them even better than the people who requested them even imagined, just like the scatter system and the AI map creation, the scatter tool, the random rotation and scale, and the terrain tool. And they have open and responsive technical team. In this week, I contacted the technical team for a problem that I had, and they came back immediately and solved the problem. Yes, and sorry. Yeah. And this is it, guys. Thank you for joining us. Today, we explored how D5 not only resolves common frustrations faced by the Lumion community, but also introduces advanced tools and features to elevate architectural visualization. I encourage you to take the next step to explore D5 and see the difference for yourself. And I think now is time for questions. Is it Tara?
Yeah. Hi. Yeah, we'll open the floor for questions, but we actually already have some here. Let me read.
Yeah.
So how can I add some outsource models into D5 library or custom or models from Cresfell Call widget?
I can't see the question here in the comments. Just a minute. Can you repeat the question? Yeah.
Yeah, how to add some outsource models into D5 library, or how to custom the models.
Yeah. So let's say the model that I added for the setups. This took time. I want this to be added to my library. Where was the yeah, okay. So all you have to do is add to local. When you press add to local, it adds it to your local library, and you can access it from the assets, as you can see, online, and you have the local. It has materials, it has models, and yeah, you can categorize everything that you've imported from all types of softwares like Rhino, Blender, 3ds Max, anything that you import and you work on in D5, you can instantly add it to your local library. And all you have to do to use it again is, let me move right here, just click on it, it loads, and it brings it to the scene. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay, before we move to the other questions, we have a form where you can fill, and if you have any feedback or if you're interested in introducing D5 into your team, you can scan this, and then we have a complimentary 14-day D5 Pro free for those who fill the form. So feel free to scan the code, and then okay, let's move to another questions. Any future planning for features like standalone file export that we can send it to the client and then he can explore? Yeah.
This one is for you, Tara. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we do have this feature. However, it's for the team license that we can export SDX and then the client can explore himself. And Alembic format. Yep.
Yeah, I think one of the questions is where did you get the animated setups model from? This is from Mixamo. You can visit the website and sign up. You can use, I think it's for free. I think. I might have been paying for it without knowing. You can add any motion to any character that you want. You can upload your own character and choose the joints. As soon as you choose the joints, the motion is automatically applied to the character, and then you can download it as an FBX file or ABC and open it in any program that you want. I use Blender. In Blender, it comes with all the textures, and the rest is just like I showed you. Yeah.
So meaning the Wolfgang's questions is answered, yeah? The ABC works on D5. And then, is it possible to randomize the height and the size of trees that has the same type?
Yeah, you can choose, if the trees are in a group, you can choose the group and press on the random scale, random size, I think. You can, if the trees are in a scatter system, you can randomize the height and the size from inside the scatter settings. And if you use the brush tool with the full radius, you can choose the random option at the bottom. Yeah.
Okay, for urban planning, do you have any comments? Is it D5 or Lumion easier to do the urban planning?
I don't know if Lumion has the an option to choose a material that you want to scatter objects on it. As far as you know, it only has the single mode, the like what's called the a few trees together mode, and then the line mode. And I've always had to use the line mode with lots of trees and put them on top of each other, and then drop them to the ground and go to the ground. And Lumion users understand what I'm talking about. But D5, in D5, the hassle is over. You can choose the material that you want to scatter anything on. Scattering them with the scatter tool is so much superior than anything that is available in Lumion, even in Inkscape, any other standalone render engine. It almost looks like the scatter tool in Corona or the geoscatter in Blender. With, it's not that complicated, but it has a lot of uses which Lumion doesn't have, I think. That's why working with landscape, I prefer D5 over Lumion. Yeah.
And what about the integration with other workflows? Like, can we have different workflows on the same D5 projects?
Yeah, you can live sync it to SketchUp and import some FBX files from, from another program. You can import D5 models, like if you export from Blender or 3ds Max as a D5 file, you can add them to the scene and sync them to the scene. You can, so one of the things that I like about D5 is whenever we are working with a project so big, sometimes the client would like renders, like pictures of the projects. We would do them in 3ds Max using Corona. But when it comes to animation, animation using Corona takes so much time and effort, and the client, like most of the time, preferred fast turn up. So we would use the 3ds Max Corona for pictures and Lumion for animations. But using Lumion for animations would restart everything that we did in 3ds Max. We had to do everything from the start. But D5, with its capabilities of integrating with 3ds Max, I've done a bunch of projects that are the same way. It imports everything from maps to lights to scenes. Like everything is almost ready. You only have to tweak some atmosphere settings, and assign some materials, and it's done. So this is one workflow that we lacked in Lumion and had in D5.
Great. Okay, compared to Lumion, do D5 use less RAM? And then what are the requirements for the software to be used for smoothly working, I think?
Yeah, I think it uses less RAM. I haven't worked on the same project in Lumion and in D5, but my experience with D5 is I've worked on so much, huge projects in D5, and it doesn't crash easily. It has some let me see what it's called, so the super resolution, the frame generation, the FPS booster, those are features that up the smoothness of the scene. You can also, if you have huge landscapes, you can control, I think from the preferences, yes, you can control the cull distance. Instances of some assets of grass or trees in the background gets culled, gets cut, so it doesn't crash the scene. Lumion has similar features, but I've used Lumion for a long time, and it was crashing a lot more than D5. So I think it uses less RAM. I think everything I'm saying about Lumion, you have to keep in mind that it's like one and a half year prior to this date. So yeah.
Okay, about vegetation, how can we do the same object alignments for the grouped vegetation like you did with the trees with ArchiCAD and D5?
I haven't used ArchiCAD before. I think there are tutorials on how to do that on YouTube, but I actually don't know the answer to this. Yeah, I haven't used ArchiCAD.
Okay. Yeah. Issue with saving D5 projects on OneDrive? Or do we have to always use locally on the PC?
No, most of the projects that I work on are stored on networks. You don't have to use them locally. It makes the loading time a bit longer, but it's not a big problem. Yeah.
Okay. And about real-time render,
Yeah.
is it why we have to keep real-time render active when we render some pictures? Wouldn't it be more efficient if we free memory?
Yeah, this is a trick that I use in Blender. Before rendering anything in Cycle, I switch everything to the wireframe mode, so it uses less RAM. I don't think I don't know if it applies to D5. I'm going to try it. It's a valid point. So what he's talking about is before rendering, I can go to display mode. I can like use clay mode and smooth, so it doesn't render the viewport while it's rendering to the output. Yeah, I think it's a valid point. So why don't, okay. Let me answer Alejandro. I think I skipped it. So yeah, a few features that Lumion has, D5 might not have, but the team is working like very fast to add everything that the users use and request. I've asked for the fur, and I think they would deliver fast, but Lumion and stereoscopic and the panoramas, I've never used them in Lumion, and the stereoscopic, I've never used them. Maybe some people would like them to be available in D5, but the amount of time that D5 saved me is amazing. The landscape tools, the scatter tool, the AI features that D5 has. Actually, for me, it just it's not worth staying in Lumion for having fur or having panoramas. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, look at Yara. Will be there a function to open 2 D5 projects at the same time? For now, no. But yeah, we definitely will try to discuss with the team. Okay.
Yeah, all the features that anyone who uses D5 wants. There are I think Discord channels that has, and maybe the D5 website. They have something like a plan for the future, everything that people really want and need. You can vote on anything that you think is missing in D5, and the D5 team will deliver, in record times.
Yeah. Is D5 based Unreal Engine 5?
Can I answer with a rumor that I heard?
Okay.
So the rumor is the D5 founders are actually game developers. So they have a lot of experience in the ins and outs of engines like Unreal Engine, and I've used it a bit. Unreal Engine, D5 feels similar to Unreal Engine, so yeah, I think it has some effect.
Okay.
And I'm not saying it as a D5 team member. Just a rumor. Yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah, Simon. Yeah, when editing, for instance, material properties, is there any way to slow down? Yeah, the slider like in Lumion, like holding the space.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Is there? I don't think so. I think but yeah, I've never had to slow it down. You can type easily inside of the slider, but it doesn't have a slow down feature. Maybe D5 should add that. Yeah.
Okay, I think this will be the last question we answer. Can you please show us how to save a preset in a photo and then put the same effect on another scene shot?
Yeah, so let me go to the scene.
Okay.
So we have two options. One is copy parameters, and then let's say I have this scene, and I'm going to paste them. Also, I have to take this here, as you can see. But the other way is, sorry, you can save them to the studio, to your space effects, and you can use effects from D5, or you can use effects that you saved from other projects that you worked on. Tara, where was the save effect to the create? Yeah, it's right here. So you press with the right mouse and create preset. It gets saved to your studio. I'm gonna name this D5 demo. Save it to these are folders that I did myself, effects, and it asks you what it's going to save, only the environment or only the effects. I'm going to save both. Press save, and then it gets saved to your studio, as you can see here. Let's say I want to add a saved preset of my studio or D5 created presets. You can download them here, press twice, and it gets, it affects the scene immediately. Node replacement in Lumion. In Lumion is, it's the, let me go to the, so let's say I'm gonna replace this asset. It's this one, replace from assets. Yeah, we talked about the object replace method from SketchUp exporting into 2 layers, which is superior to the one in Lumion. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right. I think that would be it. Yeah, thank you so much, Bilal. Awesome.
Thank you, Tara, for inviting me to the webinar. Thank you all for attending. I hope this was something that you needed to hear. If you have any questions or anything at all, you can contact the team. They are really responsive. Yeah, thank you, Tara, again. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome. Thank you so much. Take care. See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.